So welcome back to another Process to Perform video, and we've been talking about how being a technical master and having that fundamental mastery can not only have an impact on the individual, but have an outsized impact on the success of the team. Now, when you look at football, one of the greatest things about it is there's 22 players on the field. So there's a possibility for all these numerous confrontations on each and every play, many of which go unnoticed in the box score, many of which don't make SportsCenter highlights. But if you really pare down and look at what's going on in the sport, these little confrontations make or break games. So I wanted to show you a couple instances here of players making plays or missing plays that really determine the outcome of a game, largely based on what the outcome of that specific play could have been. So take a look. Wanted to start by looking at this open foot stance, picking on the Army guy again. He's a great player, but here's the deal. Anytime you stick with that kind of stance, you're going to open up with a weak hip. You always have the opportunity to get the corner run on you, and obviously right here, you're a little bit too high. Could have been a big play for the Cincinnati Bengals. Roethlisberger makes a big play to his wide receiver, but you're looking at this from the standpoint of these are things that are correctable that don't need to happen. Biggest play in the Texans game, 1 yard to go. Safety's got him dead to rights, and what happens? Gets beat around the edge. Why? Doesn't break down very well. Looking at number 71 to give him a hit. Not doing the basic fundamentals of the sport. Not tracking the hip. Fixable. When I was coming up, Larry Allen was the man. He's a Hall of Fame left guard for the Dallas Cowboys. And defensive linemen would get the Larry Allen flu because they didn't want to play him that week. And I feel like Aaron Donald's doing that with the Rams right now. Against this all-pro offensive lineman, he forces that lineman into poor footwork initially, gets his hips turned, and gets right into Russell Wilson. This is completion in any other game. But because Aaron Donald can force Iupati, who's a great, great player, into a bad position, forces a turnover. Doesn't really go as noticed during the game, but again, you look at this play, and this was intentional grounding, right? He's got 2 or 3 guys on him, and the fact is, look, he's a special player, but he forces offensive linemen he gets in their head, and they start taking poor footwork. You see the footwork from the right guard and the center. The center's taking a knee right here unnecessarily. He's just that much of an influence. Special, special player. Going back to look at stance again, you have to just have the basics down. Otherwise, number 94 can make a big play on your quarterback, whether that's a turnover, whether that's an injury. Defensive lineman's arms around a quarterback is a bad deal. And why? Because your stance doesn't allow you to drop step and gain leverage with your left foot. So on a play that you're begging as an offensive lineman to run 15, 20 times a game, your stance is preventing you to gain leverage, and now bad things are happening. This should never happen in an NFL game. Very, very fixable. On the defensive side of the ball, why do great coaches preach fundamental football? Because how you get to confrontation determines the terms of that confrontation. If you can get into this play by tracking the near hip, hugging the hole, and not creating any space from where you came from, you can make that play in the hole. Now, it's 10, 15, 20-yard gain. All preventable just by sticking to the fundamentals of football, working the basics every single day. Again, same rules apply. How you get to confrontation determines the terms of confrontation. If you're not blocking inside out, if you're not hugging the double team as a pulling guard, right, that linebacker's going to be able to take that space, just like the running back did in the previous clip. He's going to be able to take that space, and now he's making a play in the hole instead of a 10, 20-yard gain that could have easily been achieved if we just really stick to the basics of footwork, something that we have to rep over and over and over again. Not hard, but is difficult. Not hard, but is difficult. All right, this is a great play to illustrate 67 going inside out, doing a good job as the left guard, but then 54 really not taking the space created by that left defensive end. Left defensive end crashes, you got to scrape tight off of that tight end's backside. Otherwise, you're creating a natural hole for the running back. So Kenyon Drake's a fast player. Believe me, I've been around him, and he's going to take this every time and gain huge yardage. And no highlights complete without a Packers highlight, but really want to focus on kind of one thing you just don't see every day. Love the hustle of everyone. Oh, ref. This is the only way a referee should ever be involved in a game. That's commitment right there. You got to appreciate it. So as you can see, every single week there's these micro battles going on the field, these little confrontations, individual matchups. And those individual matchups might even go unnoticed during the context of the larger game, but they are so crucial to the outcome of the game. And they happen every single play. You're always this close from glory or disaster in football. That's one of the greatest things about the sport for certain. Hope you enjoyed this. We're going to keep rolling this through the season. Next week we'll come out with another Back to the Basics video. Hit me up at process2perform.com. Hit me up at Unrivaled ESS on Twitter or Process2Perform on Instagram. Look forward to speaking with you. See ya.